Today seems to be the day to have to do multiple recordings of videos, because this is actually my third video now, because Ben keeps disturbing me of my book haul. Plus I had to do 2 of my Fairy Loot unboxing. So hopefully I will get through this without Ben disturbing me. So I've been bad and I've got a lot of books. I've not done a book haul since the end of April though, so it's not surprising. Some of them are library books anyway. I did do a review of books I read last month, so I did show you some books, so I have been doing stuff. But yeah, so first up is a book I'm reading. I've not really got into it yet, but I've been wanting to read it for some time. It's about wizards, and it's the Earthsea Quartet by Ursula Le Guin. Obviously this is an old book. It was wrote some time ago, so more of a classic. I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it, but I've only got to page 28, so you know I haven't barely got into it yet. So yeah, I've got a bit of sticking up hair there. I will continue this and I will read it. Next up is The Space Between the Stars by Anne Corlett. This is about a woman that lives on another planet, but she's from Earth, and there's a disease and everyone dies, and she thinks that it's just her alone in the universe now, except that she then hears messages coming from Earth. So I don't know where it goes from there. The book is just a black book, but it's got like turquoise writing on the spine, which I do quite like turquoise, can you tell? These are the second and third book of a series. I read last month, I read The Girl in 6E, which was about a girl that lived in a flat on her own and she had a desire to kill people. So it was a thriller, but she earned money by doing webcam, sex webcam work. So it's like a thriller erotica. I found some of the erotica part quite shocking. But I did enjoy the sort of like the psychological, you know, of her sort of like having this wanting to kill people and trying to resist it. And it was like a girl had gone missing and she thinks it's one of her clients, so she goes to rescue the girl. So this is the second and third book of the trilogy. So it's Do Not Disturb, Knock If You Dare, and If You Dare by A.R. Torr. I'm not going to give you any spoilers about these because I don't know them, because I've not read them, what the blurbs on the back. I did really like the first book, so yeah. Next up is a nice yellow book. It's called The Female of the Species by Minda McGuinness. I think this is quite a dark book. I think it's possibly, well, the female of the species obviously is the saying, the female of the species is more deadly than the male. So I assume it's something to do with revenge. The inside book is white with silver writing, and it's got a girl in the front with either crazy hair or swirls of anger going round her head. So yeah, I am really looking forward to reading this at some time in the future. Next up is The Island of Chaldea by Diana Wynne Jones, completed by Ursula Jones. I don't know anything about this. I know it is one that, you know, sounded quite good, but I can't remember what it's about. Right, so this is, I love this cover. I absolutely adore this cover. It's called The Trees by Ali Shaw. I think, if I'm right, that trees just appear throughout the world, which reminded me of the Doctor Who episode where the trees appeared. That pulled me in straight away. So I don't know what this is about, but I love that book. It is stunning. It is an actually stunning picture. Right, so next is a library book. That was a library book too. See, some library books. This is Doctor Who, and it's the 12 stories that were done for the 50th anniversary. So 12 different writers wrote a story for each of the 12 Doctors. I think I've actually read some of them. I'm yawning already. It's only just gone 3. No, 4:15. So yeah, I will read that, and I love Doctor Who. I really do. Doctor Who is one of my all-time favourites to watch. Okay, this is the 4th book of a series. I've read the first 3, or at least I think I have. This is Stormglass, a chronicle of the Ixia novel by Maria V. Snyder. I think the first one is Magic Study, and it's about a girl that is, or it could be, no, I think it's Poison Study, and she is a taster, a food taster. So I got that for £1, and I do like this lady's writing, so yeah. Next up is an ARC that I got from my Illumicrate box. This is also upside down. This isn't, if you got this isn't the cover that you'd actually get. I've actually got today an excerpt of a chapter of the actual cover. For this, it's called Walking Land by Kelly Bates. It is a fantasy. I don't know anything about it. This is an ARC that I got, like I said. I'm going to get round to it sometime. It sounds, from what I read, and I can't remember what I read now. It sounds pretty good. Okay, so last on this side is a book called Truth or Dare by Non Pratt. This is a book of 2 halves, and it is like that and like that, like Replica by Lauren Oliver was, which I found really annoying the way that they did it. I don't know if I like this. I think it's a contemporary, and I can't remember what it's about at all. Something about what truths must you face, 1 story, 2 sides. How far will he dare to go? 1 story, 2 sides. I think it's obviously about truth or dare, you know. So yeah. So let's start with the other side. Trying to make this video as quick as possible, because my book hauls do go on quite a long way sometimes. Okay, I'm not sure if I've already shown you these. These are, this is the Wind Singer. This is not called the Wind Singer. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what the series is called. It's called the Wind on Fire series, because it says up there. By William Nicholson, and I've already read this some time ago. I really liked them, so I've got them. I've bought them myself. So this is the Wind Singer, which is the first book. Slaves of the Mastery, which is the second book, and the Fire Song, which is the third book. I do recommend. They are a fantasy. They are very good. They really are good. So this is The Fireman by Joe Hill. This is post-apocalyptic story where people get this disease and just start spontaneously bursting into flames. He gets the disease, but something happens, and he goes around helping the people and saving them from the flames. So, okay, I got this because I like the book cover, and someone told me that it's actually, you know, Joanne M. Harris is a good author. I can't remember what it's about, but it's magic, obviously, and it's called Rune Marks, and that cover is really, really pretty. I really like it. So yeah. Okay, this is actually recommended to me as well, and it's called Red Shirts by John Scalzi, and it's something to do with red shirts, like the red shirts that always died on Star Trek. I think it's definitely a story. I don't know if I'd like it, but I will one day give it a go. But I've got so many books, and I, seem to be going slow. Okay, this is a book that I really, really want to read. I've got the author on my Facebook. I've still not read the book that she wrote before this one. This is called Contagion by Terry Terry, and it's there's a contagion, I think, and there's an epidemic that's raging through the country. So yeah, this is the author behind this latest series, which I really, really liked. And she did another series as well, which called Mind Games, I think, which I really liked too. Okay, this is called Asking It by Louise O'Neill. She wrote Only Ever Yours, which was a really dark story. This is going to be a dark story. I think it's a girl that is raped, and the aftermath of that, and her treated like she's some sort of horrible person. Okay, this is the book that I unboxed in my fairy loot box. It's Raw by Cora Carmack, about elementals, and this princess lives in a world where royalty can control storms, but she has a secret. Okay, I don't know if I've shown you this before. I cannot remember anything about it. It's Ink and Bones by Rachel Caine. I have read some of her vampire novels. I really need to read the rest of them because I think I did get quite a way in and then I stopped. So yeah. Now, I might have shown you this already. I'm not sure if I have or not. This is The Power by Naomi Alderman. It's women have a power to hurt men. So, you know, sort of like everything is changed, everything is reversed. You know, women are the ones in power and men are the ones that are frightened. Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is like a fairy tale story type story. Yeah, I think I have probably told you about this one. It's something about she has to go somewhere and there's a dragon, and yeah, I did have read the Burbis. I really like the sound of it. I don't know how I'm going to get round to all these books. I've got so many. This is Beyond the War by Tanya Landman. It's about Britannia, so it's based in that time of like Boudica and stuff, and the Roman Empire. I have read some of her books in the past. They're historical. I really, really liked them. I really, really liked them. I have, and I probably won't read it yet until I've got more, but I've got the first Hufflepuff, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stones book that's come out for the 20th anniversary, so I intend to get the rest of them when they come out in Hufflepuff colours. I really like it. It's very pretty, and no one will nick it because I'm the only Hufflepuff in the family, so they'll have to buy their own. Okay, this is Frostblood by, I've got too many books here, haven't I? I'm going to have to put some of these down on the floor. I hate putting books on the floor, but it's all I can do because I can't see you. They all fell down then. Oh, now I have to move them when I get up. Right, this is Frostblood by Ellie Blake. I think this is the girl in it lives in a world of firebloods, and she's a frostblood, which is illegal, I think. I don't know that much more than that. I have read the blurb and it does seem really interesting, but I don't know anymore. Okay, this is an excerpt like the Walking Lands one that I got in my fairy loot box last month for Nay Ondell, the Red Abbey Chronicle. I believe that this is a fantasy. I might be wrong, or science fiction. I believe it's a fantasy though. I don't know anything about it. I will get around to reading it sometime, and then if I like it I will get it, or I might not get it because I'm spending too much money on books. Okay, I got this because I really want to reread this book, The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I couldn't read it back to front there. I could usually read things in mirrors. I've watched the first episode so far of the series. Yeah, I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but it's really, really interesting series. I wouldn't say I enjoyed reading the book when I read it, but like I said, it's really, really interesting and intriguing. Okay, this came in my Fairy Loot box last month. This is World Mythology in Bite-Sized Chunks by Mark Daniels. I haven't looked at this yet. Well, I've looked at it, I've glanced at it, but I've not actually started reading it yet. Very good as well. But the thing is, it's sort of like world archaeology, so there might be some sort of basis for a story in here that I find, because obviously everything gives ideas for stories. This is the book from last month's Fairy Loot box, which is Flame in the Mist by Rennie Aladia. It's Mulan retelling, and it's a black cover with silver writing. Only 2 books left. This is Baby Doll by Holly Overton, and I think this is a girl is captive, being held, having been kidnapped and being held for years, a bit like Room. And this is like her getting away, and I thought it sounded really, really good. I did start reading the first bit when I was on the bus, and I do want to get round to this, but I've got so many books to read and I seem to be getting no headway because I seem to be buying more books than I'm actually reading books. So this is the last one, and it's called Who Runs the World by Virginia Bergin, and it's 6 years after a virus wiped out all men on the planet. Almost all men. So yeah, that sounds cool. I don't want men to be wiped out. I mean, that would include my son, so I don't want my son wiped out. So yeah, so that's my book haul. That was long overdue. I need to really try to stop buying books. I do want to get at least one next month. And I seem to get, like, I'll buy a book and then immediately I'll see another book that I really want, and then I go through the cycle again of really wanting the book, and then I buy it, and then I want another book, and it's like, just stop it, because I've bought enough to read for like 3 years. So okay, bye.